All right, everyone, we are live here on the interwebs. I am joined by my live streaming Weenus Lube sidekick, AJ Peak, and also the chief executive dude of Dude Products, Sean Riley. And I am so excited for this. So let me just tee this up real quick, and I'm gonna let you guys do your whole introduction and everything. But so I'm on a flight, and I didn't. I didn't. Certainly, there are flights from Chicago to Toronto. Like, why am I flying to New York and then New York to Buffalo and then driving over? Right? Like, and I'm like, wait a second. I think there's a reason I'm on this flight, and we discovered it. So I ran into Sean on that flight from Pack Expo to New York, and we had an awesome
Dude
chat.
Wipes hat on, so it's kind of a dead giveaway, right?
But maybe there are fans. Who knows? Who knows? So I'm stoked to be joined by Sean and AJ, and we're talking about what AJ's doing. And Sean was like, "Man, let's jump on. Let's do this." So, Sean, why don't you do a quick introduction of yourself, and I'll have AJ introduce himself, and he's got a few questions, and we'll have a chat.
Sure, sounds good. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Adam. And yeah, like Adam said, Sean Riley, so Chief Executive Dude of Dude Products. We're famously known for Dude Wipes, so a better way to go to the bathroom. We're kind of spreading Dude Wipes throughout the country instead of toilet paper and disrupting that kind of big stale space. And we've been doing it for about 10 years now. But just some guys who started putting together out of their apartment, one step at a time, year over year, getting more Dude Wipes out there in people's hands and doing all sorts of fun stuff with our brand. So just the story of kind of being disruptive and consistent and authentic is kind of the Dude Wipes story of some buddies who took a shot and got an idea out there, and now we got a big beautiful company with a lot of distribution across the country: Walmart, Target, Amazon, all those fine retailers where toilet paper is sold. Dude Wipes is trying to be.
I love it. And you've got a really fun brand. What was the story where you had it wasn't a billboard in Chicago or something like that? I can't remember what it was, but there was some like LinkedIn post that you put up about like just some of your kind of like rebel advertising that you do around your brand. The voice is super fun and it's exciting. So I don't remember exactly what it was. I should have looked it up, but
yeah, at least a lot of those things we put out there, like those billboards, are meant to kind of like disrupt reality and get people to stop and talk, because that's what you really got to do these days to get people's attention. And we out the gate, even when we didn't have a lot of sales, we always said the Dude Wipes brand was going to be completely different than what was out there, which was Charmin with bears and stuff like that. And none of it just felt like real. Like, this is not how real people talk about, going to the bathroom. This is not, really authentic way to talk about it. And we said, we're going to be these guys who will kind of say whatever we want. And so that's how our marketing manifests itself. And a lot of people really appreciate that,
It's awesome. Well, the other face you see here is, as you can tell, this is AJ. Is this your first appearance on my podcast?
For sure, your podcast. Yeah.
That's not true.
No,
You made some beats for
but
the.
I didn't finish it.
Okay. We're still working on it. So I've got AJ Peak here. AJ, why don't you introduce yourself to the world?
Well, I'm AJ. I lived in Utah for like 4 years, and I play basketball. I like making music, hanging out with friends, that kind of stuff. And now me and my dad started this company, Weenus Lube, and just hoping to get it out there.
Yeah, we want people to keep their hand cream off their weenuses. And is that one going to stick? I don't know if that was going to stick. We'll see. We'll see. And like I was saying, Sean, when so AJ is the oldest of 5 for us. So I have 5 kids and
yeah,
just one wife. And when I had this idea for my kids, like when they got into high school, like, man, I want to challenge them to like learn about entrepreneurship, like start a company, even if it fails, right? Like that's totally fine. We're not we're not chasing dreams. We're learning like economics and, cap table and marketing and supply chain and all that stuff that doesn't typically get taught in school. And so AJ and I were just talking about one, and we were talking about the word Weenus. It just came up where I was like, hey, I work in the packaging industry. I'm like, I know people who can make this and we could have a lot of fun. And he wanted to get a TikTok channel. So I said, this is the only way.
And then Weenus Lube was born, huh?
Weenus Lube was born.
The idea of Weenus Lube was born. I think that's kind of the whole, purpose of what you guys are learning. Like, what does it take to go from the idea to the product? And there's so many valuable steps and lessons, along the way to when you get that first order of Weenus Lube that you can actually sell. Like, I always tell people that's when the magic started with Dude Wipes, is when the product arrived. And that doesn't mean the idea phase wasn't fun. And then there's a lot of hard work, that to find a manufacturer, design the packaging, like all this stuff. But until you got it in your hands and you can start seeing other people's reactions and selling it to other people, like that's a whole nother phase of learning. So yeah, I think it's a super cool and valuable project that you guys are doing together, and it'll teach you much more than you can learn in a classroom, because it's just you got to get everything done and actualized, in this way you guys are going about it.
Yeah, no, it's certainly fun. And we've got the labels getting printed now, but we did a little mock-up. So this is the first little shot of our mock-up of Weenus Lube. So actually my buddy Kirk Visola, shout out to Kirk, I got his hoodie on. He did the branding for it. And it's like the two elbows forming the W.
Let's look at that again. I love that double elbows W logo. Yeah.
So it was super fun. It was super fun going through that with Kirk. Just that process of like creating a brand, and it's hard. And Kirk's one of the preeminent brand people in CPG, so that was super fun to be able to do with him. Hey, we get live comments. That's why I like doing this for fun. Or I like doing it live because we get people who can jump and interact. So my friend Jared Spencer says, "What a time to be alive. Just wanted to say thanks for sponsoring the greatest athlete of our generation." I'm assuming, Sean, he's talking to you, because Weenus Lube has yet to sponsor an athlete.
Yeah, I don't know which athlete he's talking about, but yes, I'm assuming he is talking to us. Maybe our NASCAR driver, maybe our golfer Harry Higgs, or let us know, Jared.
Who are we talking about here? Did you guys sponsor one of the eating?
Yeah. So we sponsored Joey Chestnut too. Who is a goat. So you might be talking about Joey, and that's a really fun one, to do for us, because it's talking about, everyone's wondering, oh, Joey eats all these chicken wings, these hot dogs, what happens afterwards? And he's able to go on his TikToks, and we make YouTube videos and stuff behind the eating. Like, okay, well, what happens afterwards? Joey's going to tell the story, and he uses Dude Wipes, and sponsored by Dude Wipes. So if I'm wearing my Weenus Lube hat, it's kind of like, what people could have problems with their dry elbows, what kind of professionals, sports people or whatever.
Gaming.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they got the elbows on the gaming chairs, and they need to lube them up. So maybe we need to try and get Ninja or something like that,
Yeah, that's great. Looks like we got, so Jared said it was talking about Joey. We got some people coming in strong for Chicago. Matt Heller says shout out to Chicago.
Appreciate you, Matt.
And Richard dropped a love my Dude Wipes, and so do my three boys. So that's always fun. These are fun to do, record them, and then you can, if you mess up, you can go back, but it's so much more fun to interact with people online. So keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. Real quick, so I just wanted to drop a quick little shout out to one of my newer sponsors, actually, for my content, which is crazy to me that people want to sponsor packaging content, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that would be a thing. But this is from my friends over at Formic. They say, are you having trouble finding reliable labor for your packaging process? It may sound like sci-fi, but one company's filling open jobs with robot workers. Formic is a Chicago-based robotics company. That's crazy. So you and Matt and whoever the other Chicago people are, that builds, deploys, and services automation systems for case packing, palletizing, and more, all for 1 hourly fee and 0 capital investment. Check them out.
Nice.
Robots by the hour at formic.co, formic.co. There we go.
That's important stuff, AJ. You know, when this Weenus Lube is really scaling and you're slinging truckloads at a time, you know, you're going to want those bots packing them up and palletizing them, all that. Save yourself some operating margin there, but that's for another day, right?
That's for another day. Let's get there. Let's go. I want to be contacting Formic. Like, hey guys, what do I do?
Yeah,
we got all these pallets we got to get out to.
We can't keep up. We need the bots.
I know it's gonna be great. So AJ, I had given him, this is his first live like interview or time with someone, and I think it's really cool because Sean, you've been such an inspiration and a big part of why Weenus Lube kind of became a thing. Like you guys kind of paved the way, right, for fun, energetic. You're not the only one, right? But like fun, energetic products for like male grooming, right? You're like,
yeah,
let's attack this channel and let's make it fun. Let's make it quirky. And that was, I kept saying to him, I was like, it'll be just like dude wipes. And he's like, yeah, we'll do that. So
yeah. Love it.
So AJ, did you have a couple of questions that you wanted to ask Sean?
Yeah. So my first one was, what gave you the inspiration for creating dude wipes?
Yeah, so our inspiration was kind of, necessity is the mother of all invention sort of story. So we were guys living in an apartment after college, and, I was buying all sorts of toiletries for the apartment, paper towels, toilet paper. One time I picked up a bunch of baby wipes, threw them all in the bathrooms, and kind of noticed that guys were flying through them. And, some of us had used them before, some of us hadn't used them before. But once anybody started using them, they got hooked. Like we saw that habit like sort of forming, because it's obviously a cleaner way to go to the bathroom. Like a wet thing gets you cleaner than a dry thing. So that was sort of the like light bulb aha moment of, well, why doesn't really anything like this exist? Like a few of the toilet paper brands had their own flushable wipes, but it was a very stale space. And we kind of landed on the fact that, nobody was doing it, like you said, Adam, in a fun way. No one was talking to men at all. So we're here we were, just a couple knuckleheads from the outside with, zero experience in CPG or manufacturing or retail or anything. We really started, and I feel like you guys too with Weenus Lube, like we really started to get fixated on the brand. Like we knew we had to find a manufacturer and get a good product out, but we were like, this brand has just got to be fun and different and, kind of modern looking. And so, Dude Wipes was honestly, one of the first names that came to mind, and we just kind of stuck with it and rode with it. And then started designing like the packaging and the brand, honestly, to be fun. Like we had like jokes on our first round of packaging when you flipped over the box, and it was almost like Bazooka Joe kind of style. So yeah, that like we were very like brand first, just like we wanted this to embody us. We were just a couple, guys around an apartment, have been friends for a long time. So how you are with your friends, like you'll say whatever, like you'll joke around with your friends. And we were like, brands don't talk like that, but what do we got to lose? Let's build a brand like Dude Wipes that does talk, like you and your buddies talk, and hope people would appreciate that. And like, it doesn't sound like that radical of an idea, but it was pretty differentiated at the time that anybody was, we were doing something different with the product and the usage, like you guys, like, and that's what I always try to preach to people, like unique differentiation. Like, what can you start selling that no one's really selling the exact same thing or not selling it the same way? And for us, it was butt wipes sold with a fun brand, and for men, we're just nobody was doing that in the world, right? And that can be a powerful position to start in. Then you got to build on it and learn and tweak and evolve from there. But if you start from like a really unique position, gives you a lot of benefits. So yeah, just dudes sitting around developing dude wipes and trying to keep it real, you know.
I love
Nice.
that.
Yeah. Second question, did you start seeing major growth before going on Shark Tank?
Yes, you know, major growth for us was doubling the company every year. So, you know, the first year, literally without much experience at all, we did 125 grand. And you know, to us, we can remember like breaking the 100 grand mark was like, wow, you know, it was kind of like mind blowing. Like, you know, we sold 100 grand worth of dude wipes this year. And, you know, how crazy is that? Like, we didn't even sell any the year before, you know? Um, so then the next year, so that was 2013, our first kind of full year. Then the next year, we sold like 250 grand. So it was like, wow, we sold twice as many dude wipes this year. And like, that's all we were trying to do, you know, because we didn't have investors and just kind of like, can we double sales? Can we double sales? And then we roll into the third year. So that's 2015, the year we're on Shark Tank. And the business is picking up momentum in the beginning of the year. You know, we were on, our product was on the Fantasy Factory with Rob and Big Black. Did like a fun skit on it in January. So that kind of blew our minds in the beginning of the year. And then in springtime, we got a deal with Kroger to kind of roll out in the toilet paper aisles nationwide. As our Amazon business was growing, that was enough data to get, you know, someone in Cincinnati from Kroger interested enough who wanted to like take a risk. So we knew we were going to have a good year because, you know, we finally got our first toilet paper, you know, deal over 2 years into the business. Somebody actually took us up on our, you know, plan besides just internet sales. So, and then before we roll out into Kroger, we get on Shark Tank. So we shoot it in the summer. But Shark Tank doesn't actually air until October. So yeah, we're on pace to have our first like $1 million year kind of before Shark Tank hits. So we're going from 250 grand a year to $1 million a year in that, you know, 2015, which is huge growth for a bootstrapped company. And we're just, you know, barely scraping along, reinvesting every dollar back into inventory and figuring out, you know, this whole Kroger thing. And then Shark Tank hits in October. We get a shitload of sales on our website. It kind of blows up that night. Amazon, you know, goes crazy. A couple retailers come out of the woodworks. Now they're saying, oh, we'll give dude wipes a shot, you know, so we get into like 80 targets and, you know, all that good stuff. And we made $1.5 million that year. So, you know, 5X year, 250 grand, 1.5 million. You know, but Shark Tank definitely helped like boost the end of that Q4, like threw some rocket fuel on it. But we do always say like that Kroger picking up dude wipes, that was our first like retailer validating us that gave us a real customer outside of Amazon.
Hey, real quick, we got some we got some people jumping in here. A People of Packaging alum. I think it's probably what he's most famous for. Also, he's got a great company. Mark Samuels watching live
Oh,
here.
our guy Mark's tuning in.
Yeah, what's up?
That's
Mark's
our
got
boy.
you guys have I Want Organics or I Want Organics on in your corporate office, right? I saw a video the other day of you like
Yeah, we do.
refilling some stuff.
Mark's been nice enough to send us some, and I told him we're going to reorder on our own now because like he preaches, that's what you got to do to support entrepreneurs. You got to order their products.
Yeah.
But no, it's fantastic tasting stuff, and it's healthy. And I'm not joking. When it shows up at the office, people just crunch it down, and it's gone.
It's
So,
gone.
no,
And then,
yeah, we love the snacks. We love the puffs and the crisps and everything.
yeah, thanks, Mark, for jumping in. And then LinkedIn user says brand creation, dudes developing stuff for dudes. Adam, great, your boy is getting to understand all this. Yeah, it's one of my sincere joys in life is being able to be a conduit of information, not just to my kids, but also to other people in the industry. CPG, packaging, they're all kind of related for sure. So it's been fun. Thanks everyone for chiming to keep the comments coming. Sean, we've only got a few more minutes here because I try to keep these around like 25 minutes. People get bored hearing me talk about packaging, so I know my lane.
I thought we were going to go like a Joe Rogan, like 3-hour one here.
Oh no! I see. We moved. We were living in Colorado at the time, so maybe if we were in Colorado, where people tend to be enjoying the fruits of legalized stuff in Colorado, that's probably how those conversations go for 3 hours. But no, we're here in the great state of Utah, and we love it here. So I'm kind of curious about, from like a packaging angle. I think you've probably iterated a little bit, but you said you were brand new to CPG when you kind of first started out. Was it surprising to you how difficult it was to nail the packaging, or did you have like, you found a contract manufacturer, somebody's going to turnkey it, and they're like, we already got this nailed. We got the film, we got the closure, we got the box. Like, we just need you to get your branding on it. How was that for you kind of when you first started out? And do you find that you're perpetually learning about the role that packaging plays, not just in the brand, but also in the structure, getting something from point A to point B?
Yeah, I mean, when we got started, it was sort of the contract manufacturer. You know, we didn't have the luxury or capital to like do something that unique, but we just specified, you know, because we started with the individually wrapped dude wipes that fit in your pocket. So we were like, hey, we want 30 of these in a box because there's 30 days in a month, and we think a guy will need one every day. And, you know, we want the box to flip open so they could grab them up top. So, you know, we got some samples back and forth of just like white chipboard boxes. You know, the wipes, you know, they source the film and the wipe material and the boxes and all that. So packaging, you know, we just worked with what we could. I think now we try and get more unique with packaging, that we have scale and like, what materials can we source, and can we make this more environmentally friendly, and can we make the form factor more unique and stuff. But out the gate, it was more of an art project, you know, like what do you got that we can use? And then I did our first packaging on Illustrator, with just, you know, I had a little AutoCAD experience in high school, but just kind of, you know, started placing things places. And, you know, so that was definitely an interesting, you know, when that first package showed up, oh, this is how this printed out, and this is how this looks. And that's always, even when we launch a new product today, that's always a super fun moment, like rip it open, that first box off the production line, and seeing how this stuff actually came out versus, you know, your proofs and your digital stuff. But yeah, and then our stuff has evolved every step of the way. So it's like no perfect products, just launch, learn, iterate, you know, all of that. We still try and, you know, go by that mantra. We've put out packagings that have had spelling errors on them. Or it's like, well, we'll fix it next time. You know,
Yeah.
No one's going to notice. Like, so yeah, we're just all about executing and like moving forward, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. Kind of go fast and I don't know, what was the phrase I've heard? Go fast and break stuff. I wouldn't say we're quite there. Like AJ and I, how long have we been working on this, AJ? For
like 2 years, I think. That's when the idea started. And then for like a year, we've been kind of like, you know, getting Weenus Lube, like the domain and everything.
Yeah, trademarks and
trademarks.
Yeah.
all the stuff.
Manufacturer, and where you guys getting different lubes and rubbing them on your elbows and kind of say, okay, that one, you know.
I will say it does work. I've tried it.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of like a trial run once we decided, and he took it to school and he was like, here, put this on your Weenus.
When does the first round arrive?
So as of today, as of this recording on November 8th, also it's election day. I hope everyone went out and voted. I just realized that. So the labels are getting printed. All the ingredients are at the contract manufacturer up in Idaho, and so we'll get the labels over to them. And so we're gonna have to label the tubes. We're not quite at the scale to, you know, pre-decorate the tubes. So AJ and I will head up and watch the first batch of 750 tubes get made and labeled, and then they'll sit in our house, and we got some pre-orders going, and we're gonna fill pre-orders, our whole crew of 7, and get them out the door.
Sweet. No, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome to see it getting made and get those first batches and start selling them, and then start seeing what people think too. I think that's the biggest thing to pay attention to when you launch. People are always like asking us, like, how do you know what to do next, or how do you know what people like or what they don't like? People just tell you. Like, once you start selling, you know, if the reviews are good, you know you got a winner, and don't mess with it that much. If the reviews suck, like, you know, you have a loser, and how do we go to the drawing board? What do we need to improve? Or do we need to like take the thing out back and shoot it, you know? But like, people will just straight up tell you on reviews. And that's why I always preach, like, e-commerce launches, just launch, especially on Amazon, launch, get the reviews, and that will tell you everything. Where the big corporations get stuck in these research groups and all of that. And like, there's just nothing better than the feedback from a consumer who made a purchase. Like, they're going to tell you everything you need to know. So I just say, like, AJ, just be listening, and don't take anything too much to heart. Like, I remember those first bad dude wipes reviews, you know, and I felt like my girlfriend dumped me or something. Like, you know, you take them to heart, and you're like, man, I worked so hard on this thing, and someone just ripped it a new asshole and said, you know, this is the stupidest idea I've ever heard of, and these didn't work, and yada yada yada. But so,
and then you made $1 million, and we're like, well,
yeah, right. Like, yeah, who's laughing now? But, you know, yeah, take that stuff, you know, with a grain of salt on the negative stuff. Listen for the product improvements and everything, and then look at the positive feedback and just, you know, iterate on it.
All right, we got a couple of comments and one more question here. So my friend up in Toronto, Brandon, says, great conversation. AJ, don't be afraid to take risks and have fun building the brand. We are going to have some fun, but it's right now that money is coming from mom and dad's checking account. So let's Brandon, you want us to write some checks? No. Yeah, and then my friend Hugh is great. He's with Butternut Mountain Farms. He's been participating in these for a while. Says the same thing. Smooth Weenuses for all. And we had a question come in for you, Sean. For a new entrepreneur, what trait would you say is most beneficial in achieving success and accomplishing goals?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all starts with the mindset, right? So like, you gotta have like a mindset where you believe in yourself, and that you are going to figure it out and accomplish, you know, what you set out to do. And that doesn't mean that like the idea is a winner. Like, your first idea could be a loser, or it could need work or whatever, but it's that mindset that like, I'm going to go out there and figure these things out, and I'm just like, hell or high water, I'm going to be successful, is a tough mindset to have when you haven't like done things and figured them out. But you kind of need to have that like blind faith that you're going to keep iterating and figuring it out. So you start with that, and then you just layer on consistency, and you don't give up. Because then the longer you're playing this game with that mindset, the more you're going to learn. And you know, people can even have that like confident mindset, but if they give up too early, they don't give themselves enough time, you know, to learn and figure everything out. So, yeah, you know, they say 8 out of 10 businesses fail, but I say 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs give up, because there's always, where there's a will, there's a way. And even if your idea has to change, if your brand has to change, if you got to move from Weenus Lube to Foot Lube, you know what I mean? Like, there's always a way to take what you've learned and kind of, you know, build it into something else.
Yeah, I was going to look for it. I've got my friend Andrea Hardiman here. She's an artist, and she made this like Lauryn Hill silhouette, and it's got the quote from one of her songs from the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. How are you going to win if you ain't right within? That idea that, you know, if you start with like this resolved idea of like, I'm going to accomplish this thing, right? Then yeah, you kind of have to, what's Bruce Lee say? Like, you got to be like water, you know, you got to kind of move and shake and stick and move and all that stuff. but that's a great point. 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs give up, for sure. AJ, did you have any more questions for the man, the myth, the legend, the dude, Sean Riley?
Yeah, just kind of one about like selling. Would you say it's more effective to sell like online or like in store? Or like
Yeah.
where do you see like, people buying it more?
Yeah, out the gate, guys like us who kind of start from the bottom and are just figuring it out.
Oh, that was the thing. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. That was the.
There you go. There you go.
That's what you did.
Online is your best friend out the gate there, because you don't have these gatekeepers or retailers who aren't interested in things that don't have some sort of track record yet. So you really got to start that business online. And then again, like I said, it's the feedback machine. So it's helping you get the product right and all of that. So don't be in a rush to be in retail. But then once you've figured out that you have product market fit, your quality's there, you've tweaked everything, then you want to start, going to applicable retailers. But, now over 50% of our business is in, brick and mortar, traditional retail. So yeah, I always recommend people like attack that D2C, attack Amazon, both of those right out the gate, and just make sure, everything's right. We wasted a lot of time early on trying to talk to retailers when we should have been focusing more online, because we were like, we got to get in front of Walgreens. They're going to love this Dude Wipes idea. And you get in front of them and they're like, guys, like, this doesn't even have any sales. Like, how did you even get this meeting? So yeah, don't try and get in there too early, because more like your energy is just better focused on perfecting the product and selling online. But then there will be a natural progression where you need, like our Kroger story, where you need that first retailer to take a shot with you. And then you start taking that whole other learning curve of brick and mortar. But you could spend, easily 2 years just growing too, and ideating and perfecting online.
I love it. My first job out of college, I was the overnight assistant manager at a Walgreens. So I could have helped you out there a little bit, but that was 2002. So maybe not quite then. AJ, you already got your second product, Weenus scrub, and Hugh's got an angle on some maple sugar as a scrub. So yeah,
it's interesting.
Exfoliate that Weenus and then lube it.
Oh yeah, Weenus exfoliation followed by a nice Weenus lube would be great. And I think we can wrap it up here with starting from the bottom. Nice, fellas. That was
last idea, maybe like a website only Weenuses, where it's just like pictures of Weenuses, and maybe people be into that, and sponsored by Weenus Lube or something.
Like a Weenus social media? Is that what
yeah.
Like an OnlyFans, but for Weenuses? We put the we in Weenus?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Be disappointed when they get on only Weenuses and it's all elbows, but at least you started some conversation,
Oh man, that's great. So first let's go to AJ. AJ, how do people pre-order Weenus Lube?
You can go to weenuslube.com and order, what is it, a 16 ounce?
It's 8 ounce. But
8 ounce.
You can order 2, and that would
be
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be awesome. And Sean, how do people get more from you? Have Dude products now, so we spent so much time talking about Dude Wipes, but you have like products that you've got, right?
Yeah, we got a couple other products. We've been cutting more stuff than we've been launching, though, really refocusing in on Dude Wipes. But we got some other fun products like a Dude Bomb. So we say before you drop a bomb, drop a Dude Bomb, and you throw that in the toilet, and it creates the odor barrier, and it's a little dissolving pod. So that's a fun new one from us that people are liking. But yeah, we just say, wherever you like to buy your toilet paper, we should be available for you for the most part. So, Amazon, Walmart, Target, your local grocery store, check us out and support us wherever you like to buy your stuff.
I love it. Well, and thanks to everyone also for jumping in and making this a fun conversation. Hugh and Brandon and Richard and Mark and Matt and Jared. That was super fun. Appreciate y'all. Sean, can you hang on for like just a couple minutes after we wrap this thing up? I forgot to tell you that beforehand. All right, cool.
No doubt.
Well, thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Everyone go check out Dude Products, weenuslube.com. You can follow me at Packaging Pastor on TikTok, or you sign up for my newsletter, packagingisawesome.com. Thanks everyone.